Hi Twitter, see you online. Facebook, LinkedIn. YouTube's struggling a bit today. If it's not one, it's t'other. Yep, okay. Hi YouTube, we're all on. It's now the 6th of May, which means it's a Thursday. It's 1 p.m. I don't know why I'm doing this. 1 p.m. is when I do my live lectures that are structured rather than Monday, which is playing around with tech and doing the social media news. That's at 10:30 Sydney time on Mondays. Thursdays 1 p.m. is the lectures. This series of lectures is called edusocial, and I wanted to really focus on brands that use online courses to build customer engagement and to keep a loyal fan base. I think there's a lot of competitions out there, Instagram competitions, and buying attention through a competition, which then crashes within 28 days, MAUs, if people don't stay engaged with you. Let me put the strap up because I always forget. So edusocial is about a deeper engagement. It's more nutritional than competitions or ads or coupons or whatever. And it's sort of growing, but it's not in the zeitgeist 100% yet. It's coming. It is coming. And I really think the pandemic has pushed it along. So let me just check my notes. It's not a full structured video lecture today, not like how I would do a university lecture with the narrative arc and we're going to get you from here to there and we're going to have some resources for you and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to go through a list of brands that are building communities and loyal customers through online courses. And there'll be some that surprise you and some that won't. And I didn't bookmark them all, but that's okay. I'll dig them out. We'll see. Let's get going. We're already 2 minutes in. I think if I go up here, that's good. Okay. So it won't come as a surprise to you that companies that have a technical platform like MYOB or QuickBooks or any of those kind of companies often have online courses. And at this point, I want to separate out courses to teach people how to use your products to make it easier for them to use so they stay loyal to you versus actually helping them overall with their business. So what QuickBooks seems to have is courses, but only for accountants and bookkeepers. If they wanted to extend into edusocial, QuickBooks could set up a course called How to Run a Small Business or How to Run an Online Business or How to Do Digital Marketing and provide that for the end users. It's about building brand love, it's about generosity within educational space, and it's about solving problems for them. I know there's lots of companies that provide those kind of courses, but I'm not talking about a training company providing the courses. I'm talking about QuickBooks providing how to run a small business course, or Australia Post offering whatever your postal service is, wherever you are in the world, Australia Post offering a how to do digital marketing or social media marketing course for their clientele. In fact, I was asked by a postal service in Asia to provide an online course on social media for small businesses in Asia. So that kind of an idea, that it's not just there to say, this is how you put a stamp on an envelope, but let's solve some problems for you. Fear, aspiration. So as well as QuickBooks, what else do we have? We have Shopify. Now Shopify is extending their course offering. Shopify. Let me just check my notes. Sometimes I write the platform down that they're running it on. I check the platforms and see what they're using. No, I didn't. So this is shopify.com.au/learn. And they provide courses on goal setting and building a revolutionary company and just expert courses. It's not a marketplace for courses as such. What I mean by that is a peer-to-peer community. It's not sort of like a Udemy where anybody can upload a course and it's a meritocracy. Well, actually it's an algorithmocracy, but they pretend it's a meritocracy. I just realised something. I'm such an idiot. It looks like I don't know how to spell social. I moved it across. Okay, so we've got 4 courses: webinars, tutorials, case studies, articles, community, Q&A, and help center. And it looks to me as though they've actually found people with education backgrounds, qualified teachers, to come and help them set this up. And I'm only going to say that because I've actually done a couple of their courses. It was a while ago, but I have done them. And it's not just how to use Shopify. If you don't know Shopify, it's the e-commerce platforms. It's not just how to put up a picture and sell a product and put a price. It's how to run your business. If you're new, they want you to be successful because it helps them be successful. Make no mistake about it. It is a win-win. But there's other things in here as well, which I think bear thinking about. And it's hyper-targeted almost definitely to solopreneurs. I know that large corporates, I think Donald Trump's shop was Shopify because they actually removed it when all the kerfuffle happened in January. I don't know why I remember that, but I did. Oh, that's right, because I was thinking about Shopify's brand values. And so they've got topics on social media marketing. Go do them, free. All right, next one. By the way, if you've got any questions at all on building online courses and online schools for major brands, for government, for non-profits, things like that, please let me know. Taught these a few times through university and then privately as well. So I kind of have done a reasonable amount of work, not only on my own schools, but other people's. Well, you're learning all the time. Here we go. Pearson. So I looked at Pearson because they had a few schools and a few verticals. Some of them they seem to have put to one side and forgotten about, and others they're promoting. This one, Active Learn Primary, is a online course. They're calling them components. I think they mean units, curriculum units. Support materials, resources is what I call it on my website. And then they charge. So it can be a revenue generator. And because Pearson's is a publishing house and they're focusing on literacy, they're building the long term, which is let's keep people reading, let's keep children reading so they can read stuff in the future. But they do a lot of educational books. I think from memory I spoke to them once about writing a university manual. University resources. Okay. Yeah, that would be them. Gee, it was 10 years ago. Never did it. Did write some books, but not that one. So you can see what's happening there. A publishing house is offering online courses to teachers, charging for them. And then that gives you a gate. Depends on how much they are, of course. How much does it cost? Oh, it's to help the students. So the teacher is the influencer, and Active Learn Pearson talks to the teacher who then signs up the students. You got to get a quote. I've seen these models before. They're almost like affiliate models. One person signing up lots of other people. It happens with me. Sometimes I sell my courses into an organization and they just ask for 100 or 150 accounts and I give them and then they hand them out. All right, let's have a look. I don't want to spend a huge amount of time just giving the list. I need to get through as many of them as possible and just riff off of it. Like I said, it's not a formal lecture. I don't lecture like this, but it would be an interesting resource if I said, here's 20 or 30 brands that are using online education to build online communities. Find some more for me. And actually, that's what I like to do, because that's how I build up larger and larger and larger lists. I did that once. I did that for a number of years for peer-to-peer marketplaces. Like, we talked about Etsy, we talked about eBay, we talked about Airbnb, we talked about, all of Uber, all of them. Not all of them, a few of them. And then the students had to spend 10, 15 minutes finding some for their industry. We came up with some really interesting ones, actually. I should do a lecture on that, or a little thingy on that. A live stream, little thingy. All right, back to this. So this is running on a Teachable platform. There's a number of platforms. I've used almost all of them. New Kajabi, Teachable, Udemy, who else? Podio, I think I've used. I use New Zenler at the moment. I can give you a link. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. You'll get a introduction thing. And it's getting there. And there's not that much difference between them except price, which is one of the reasons why I like New Zenler. But if you want to move up, have a look at Canvas, which is what we use at the university. So this is Penn Law School. Okay. Why did I show you that? I wanted to just mention the fact that universities can offer public credits, like not necessarily undergraduate and postgraduate. What do you call them? Brain's gone dead. You wouldn't think that I've been teaching at universities for 20 odd years, but anyway. Non-award courses. I was just speaking to somebody about it this morning. They can offer non-award units just for people who are interested, like short courses or professional development, which a lot of universities have. Not a lot of them have an online school specifically. Where I find it interesting is it helps with the branding of the university, because alumni come back to do short courses and they recommend other people too and things like that. All right, what else do we have? GNS3. This one, they have software which allows you to create a virtual environment to run your app, whatever it is, so you can test it and build, design and test your network in a risk-free virtual environment. So it's like understanding how all the bits and bobs fit together and if it's going to work. So when I worked at Cisco Systems, we had First in Field Engineering, which we had to run online and offline courses for in the general public. And that was 20, 30 years ago. So it's this sort of educational tool's been around for a long time. Like I said, I'm just going to give you the list today and waffle. This is not structured in any way. What's my first thoughts? That's it. They seem to have other courses, though, besides just how to use the GNS3 telecommunications virtual network. So I think I went into, was it training? Mm-hmm. And it takes us through to Teachable again. And there's a CCNA course. So I helped set up the original CCNA course, which is the Cisco certification, in early 90s. Early 90s. Wow, that seems very far away. But no, it would have been, I think, maybe mid-90s. And yes, it was mid-90s. Mid-90s. And then I was working for Cisco until... It doesn't matter. You don't care about this. Let's keep going. But you get the general idea. Now, I will say that online courses, online resources have always been a function of the engineering psychographic. So you often find a lot of tech courses and classes coming up. This one is GetResponse, which is a MailChimp-esque type of product. I don't use it, but I do like their online school. They have 19 teachers, 6 certificates you can earn, 164 lessons and 16 hours worth of stuff to do. Email marketing, marketing automation. You'll notice that marketing is also a big topic for edusocial, and it's because marketing people who are deeply immersed in marketing know that online courses build brand ambassadors. And they certainly do for me. I mean, I've got tens of thousands of students, and a good 12 or 13,000 of them are online in my classes. So it's kind of interesting. I think for me, it's almost as if the industry organisation is reducing in importance, and then these kind of things are coming forward. So peer-to-peer marketplaces, peer-to-peer training, or at least some kind of online training, peer-to-peer conferences will be an interesting shift for industry organisations to catch up with. How many industry organisations do you know that offer a peer-to-peer marketplace? And I'm asking this because I went through the requirements to be listed as an industry organisation. I was thinking about doing it a little while ago. And one of the things is you're not allowed to state how much, people are not allowed to say how much money they make. Your members are not allowed to collude on money. But peer-to-peer marketplaces have right there, you know, for $199, I'll do 10 Facebook posts for you, or for $2,000, I'll build a website for you. And so this is going to break into industry organizations. And I don't think regulatory understand that, because I've already seen situations where funding's gone to a peer-to-peer marketplace because they had hundreds of thousands of members using their marketplace, and therefore it was a vertical. It was actually in creative arts, and the government gave this particular platform some of the funding that would have gone to the industry organisations. So there's a bit of competition there. Online courses, peer-to-peer marketplaces, important. What else do we have here? Oh, this dude, what's his name? I wanted to put this one under celebrity branding. Celebrity. Pat Flynn, that's him. Smart Passive Income. So he's running, this one is New Kajabi? No, it's not New Kajabi. I don't know what platform. Oh, it could be Teachable. Yes, Teachable. And he's got these courses. So this is one of the things that happens a lot in online courses is monkey see, monkey do. And sometimes people create online courses before they've been successful with the online courses because they can see that it's a popular topic. It reminds me of like YouTube videos of people who say, I'm going to show you everything the algorithm wants, but they're regurgitating the stuff they've seen on other videos, and they've not necessarily read the data research papers to actually look at the data sets that go into the YouTube algorithm. You've seen that kind of thing. I assume, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm immersed. With Pat, he's a smart marketer for brand Pat, and there would be things in here that people take on board. Don't tell me I haven't been showing you this one. Okay, there we go. So Smart Passive Income, you can have a look at the courses, and this is Pat's courses. If you didn't see the other one, I don't know how far back I went. This was the Get Response one. I like this one. Oops. You should have let me know. I can see people watching on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and you didn't let me know I hadn't switched the camera. Never mind. I'll put the list on the blog under resources so that you can go to each one of these and review it yourself and see how it works. There was one I wanted to show you before we go on to the next lot, which is Annapurna. Okay. So this is Carrie Ann Moss, I think. Let me just go into about. I don't know if you know the Matrix, Carrie Ann Moss. That's her. And although her website's closed, I think if you go to free tools, there's some courses on offer. So the landing page looks like it's on WordPress, and then we get sent to Teachable again for courses on meditation, things like that. So she's closed off her all courses area, but there's the curriculum. Let me come out of the way. I'm hoping you can still hear me. So there's a video, audio, books, worksheets, and it's free. So these two, Pat Flynn and the Annapurna Carrie-Ann Moss sites, are building personal brands through online courses, so that rather than just putting up a blog post every so often, you know, people kind of get to feel like they know you and that you've offered something of value to them. We talked in the last video about exchange and the exchange of value. And I think that if you think about the exchange of value as being, we can't have anything too unbalanced. And so it's very unusual that people will just take. There are people out there that take. But normally we're looking to give something back. So she'll build a very clear, focused group of people who are very happy that she supported them in, what was it? Meditation. Yeah. Thanks, Gary. Yes, I will. Sorry, a bit all over the place today. Next one. What else do we have? So this is, I'll get me out of the way. This is called Blueprint, and Facebook offers online courses to understand Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp. My understanding is it's still very much about mostly ads and mostly please use our stuff, please use our services. You know, and it's, as somebody who teaches this stuff, it's such a dark art and it's so confusing and it's so non-intuitive that it's a good thing they do have the courses. And I send people here who are unable to attend any of my private Zoom training or anything like that. But I do wish that they would expand into providing a complete solution, not just how to Facebook better or how to Instagram better, but how to business better, how to achieve your goals better, how to fundraise across the board better, not just fundraise using the non-profit tools on Facebook, but the rest of it. Anyway, so I go into courses, facebook.com/business/learn/courses. Okay, they've changed the URL again. Mine was always Blueprint. Attract an audience, build relationships. Yeah, so it's all very much how to use Facebook. So the other one I wanted to bring up, because I haven't really looked at it, is Google Digital Garage, I think. Is that it? This one? I'm clicking on a Google ad for Google. Oh yeah, it's picked up that I'm in AU, Australia. Choose a skill, learn at your own pace. Explore how websites work, build a strong online strategy, manage your time effectively. See what they're doing here, create a long-term social media plan. It's not just buy Google ads, let me show you how to buy Google ads, why you should spend more money on Google ads, and I'll throw an SEO course in for you as well. Unlike Facebook's Blueprint, which is about solving the problem of how to get money out of small businesses, that seems to be the one they're trying to solve. We're looking here at Google providing an investment in helping businesses be successful, because successful businesses will spend more money on advertising. I think that's one of the things with education, and it's one of the reasons why I sometimes have a challenge with companies when I'm trying to talk to them about long-term strategies around becoming an education provider within their niche, is that it is a long-term goal. It's not, return on investment for marketing dollar in the next 10 days. Like, yes, you can get paid sign-ups and you can see a big boost, especially when you put up new courses. But this is about a rising tide lifts all boats. That's what I wanted to say. What does it mean again? Yeah, no, I know what it means. All right, another one. So the School of the New York Times. Why would the New York Times, a newspapery thing, offer education online, summer academies, August writers' workshops, gap year, professional development, admissions? Why would they offer that? Why does the New York Times have an online school? How to think and write like a critic. Maybe they don't like the current journalism courses. But then if you look at the industry organizations, I think Pointer, journalists, News University, News U. So they already have courses and for teachers. How to effectively teach online. Maybe I should be doing that one. Watching it, not teaching it. What is the brand New York Times doing here by offering in-depth, masterclass style courses? If you figure it out, let me know. I've got a few ideas. I suspect that they're all correct. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. And that's a media organization, then definitely not the only media organization to offer online courses, like major media, traditional media. I'm just trying to see if I've got anything else on my list. No, we don't. That's a bit of a shame. Okay, let's keep going. $30. They're not bad prices, are they? Certificate in Content Marketing with T-Brand Studio, a comprehensive program in native advertising. I don't know. I do think that they probably did see Google's online courses, LinkedIn Learning, Facebook's Blueprint, and all the others, and thought, we need to be on the education thing as well. By the way, this, at the end of this month, is going to penalize you in Google. They're called intrusive popover interstitials, something like that. And if you Google it and look for developers.google, you'll see them talking about you cannot block content that people are trying to get to. So just so you know. I wonder why all the pictures have gone. Maybe it doesn't run anymore. So soloism is a part of a group called Flying Solo. You've probably heard of the online discussion group or online forum. It was an online forum, I think, before Facebook was around. And they're there to help small businesses. It's another example of an industry organization by default, because it's a forum that people just came together to help each other with. Then they created online courses, created online marketplaces, online mentoring, a whole range of things, and in a sense act like that part of an industry organization. The one area where I think some of these haven't quite found their feet, but I'm waiting for it because it's coming, is the political space. Because if you have hundreds of thousands of members studying with you, providing services to each other, and then you want to lobby the government, watch out, because you can get your survey signed in a matter of minutes, for instance. So it's going to be interesting to see. So this is a little bit on how to become a solopreneur, how to become a sole business owner. Have you painted your Ferrari? Preview. I really want to watch that one, but we don't have time. We're going to keep on going. If you've got any questions about online courses and online schools, please let me know. For brands, there's a huge movement at the moment of small little businesses, mostly solo or couple people getting together and creating online courses as a way of doing passive income. But we haven't seen too many of the big brands completely step in. And so I think it would be well worthwhile looking at some of that. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Where am I going to go? Top right. So Bunnings is a home hardware store, big chain here in Australia, and they run in-house workshops and they invite you in. It's a little bit like Apple inviting you to the Apple Genius Bar so that you can learn how to set up your new iPad. So Bunnings are running little ones, and if they ever run one on how to change the bathroom taps, I'm so there. I just haven't had a chance to look at it on YouTube. I've actually got the taps. They're in the corner. I haven't installed them. But all in-store activities are temporarily suspended until further notice. Make that bigger, because some of you are sitting on a phone and you can't read it and you're going to complain to me. It would be interesting if the pandemic had initiated online learning. And one of the challenges here is that Bunnings had a massive pickup during the pandemic. People who were locked up at home, who were only allowed out for essential, I don't know if you know this, but home hardware was listed as essential. And people took on projects. And Gary, yes, a course in van conversions would have been nice, given that we watched lots of individual little YouTube videos that didn't have a structured learning pathway, and it was a little bit of mix and match nano courses, watching YouTube videos. But what an awesome idea. Actually, let's go to Bunnings and tell them we want to take on another van and deck it out, and that we will video it all and they can put it up online, because the digital nomad van life grey nomad, I guess, audience are pretty massive. Everybody wants to deck out a van and go around Australia because we can't leave the country yet. So they do have workshops, but they're not offering the stuff online. So I wanted just to show you that even edusocial does work, especially in local communities. And that's one of the things you'd have to look at, is how you could geolocate the courses and give them communities, local communities. But I think there's an opportunity for the Bunnings type services out there to build out brand loyalty through some courses. What else did I want to show you? Okay, we'll go back to this one. So this is, let me get out of the way. This is LinkedIn Learning. And I'm sure that you're familiar with LinkedIn Learning. And I can see I'm streaming on LinkedIn. So hello to LinkedIn people. They have a specialist area for governments. And what they're looking to do is that governments can pick up a LinkedIn Learning, I guess, contract and offer online courses to unemployed residents that could be eligible for in-demand jobs or could be educated to take on in-demand jobs. Oh, go away. Not you, the little interstitial. Increase employee engagement, help employees build relevant skills, meet the need of government workers, scale learning programs. So it's not just for employees, though. I noticed that, and I think the reason why this is up the top is because of the pandemic. Every local council knows that there are a lot of unemployed people who were not unemployed pre-pandemic. So COVID's put 195 million people out of work globally. Can I just say, I don't want to have a rant. I need to go up there. This is why we need to get away from non-nutritional Instagram competitions and brands start putting value back into local communities. And one way to do that is through courses. And if people cannot come into the Apple Store to do a computer course or can't come into Bunnings to learn how to change the bathroom tap, feel free to send me the videos of those. Let's have the brands put some online courses up. I don't know. Have you seen any? Like, one that I would love to have seen is something like a Nike put up a how to stay fit course during the pandemic. There would have been a lot of brand love for those kind of things. Anyway, moving right along. This one's the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency in the US, and they're providing online courses to help certified builders, I guess, renovators, stay certified. So if you are a renovation firm, we recommend you read through all the subjects on how to fulfill your legal requirements. So actually helping people be successful in their business in obeying regulations. And I've looked for courses, and I actually ended up running one myself on social media regulations because it was extremely hard to find, understand, and implement all the regulations around social media. And yes, I did the whole, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm just trying to help you kind of thing. But I basically had to put something together because it was extremely tricky to understand all the different laws and regulations. How useful if government actually provided you a step-by-step walkthrough, and every time they changed the regulations, they updated the online courses. Not in my lifetime. Well, I guess there's this one. There was another one as well. Oh, Singapore. Let me move that one over there. So the Singapore government run courses themselves. And this one, for instance, is renovation of public housing. I don't know I lived in Singapore for years. It's interesting there. They have a lot of high-rise buildings that are run like communities. So as a community manager, it was fascinating for me to see that the rules and regulations, I guess in America, they have something called HOA, H-O-A, Housing something association. And each area has their own HOA. I hope I'm saying it right. And there's lots of rules and regulations about what plants you can have in the front, what colour your gate can be, and a lot of things like that. And so it would be useful if all of those rules and regulations were in a course that could test you and do different things. I don't know. I don't want to get... And this is one of the things I've been thinking about, is the negativity or the negative options behind... oh, thank you. I'll put that one up as well. Like, everything that we do could be positive or it could be negative. So I thought that social media was going to change the world, make us more connected, more loving and supportive of each other. And it definitely has. It's also done the opposite. But it's also become this massive big data. We want every piece of data about you, and then it's going to impact whether you get house mortgages, whether you get health insurance. We're going to track everything that you do. And I sort of wasn't meant to be like that. And I do wonder with these kind of educations, if they can mandate certain things, that would be interesting. So let's have a look. Oh, okay. So the BBC looks like years ago. The 1980s rang and want their website back. Oh, 2014. Close enough. Does the ABC TV in Australia have online courses? Archive site from the days when BBC was providing more than TV radio for the license fee. Yeah. And this is the thing, isn't it? It's about value adds. Oh, so the negativity is when I worked at Cisco, and then all the engineers had to be CCNA, Cisco certified, and then it was impossible to get a job without that certification. And then you start locking people out who can't afford it, and in some cases who have as much knowledge because they've done it on the ground running without a CCNA, and then it forces corporates to send people on the course. Imagine if in the future the only people who are allowed to advertise on Facebook are those that have been verified as having completed the Facebook certification course, which, by the way, is full of errors. It's not brain surgery. They don't need a medical degree. So let's have a look at the ABC one. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Let's have a look. Where are we? Thousands of free curriculum-linked resources for school teachers and students. Again, though, it's the focus on teachers and students as a whole target audience rather than a brand with their other audiences. What's the chances of the ABC running courses for their retirees, which is a substantial part of their listening and watching population? And, we know that there's like 4 or 5 psychographics of different types of retirees that like to do online courses and courses in general. There's the hobbyist, there's the golden days who might be going off to Italy to study Italian, so want to do Italian classes. Oh, that reminds me, I don't suppose that there is an consulate, Italian courses. Esteri, that's foreigner, isn't it? Stands for foreigner. Who am I kidding? I haven't spoken Italian for years. Oh, the Italian Cultural Institute, but I think it's associated to the consulate. From memory, they're next door to each other. But you get the general idea. If an embassy or a consulate decided to run courses in a language to help people and to build that loving relationship. Hi, Spain. Love you. Spanish embassy. Won't go into that one, but that kind of an idea. There's also the retirepreneur, who is a retiree who can't afford to give up work completely and so is taking courses. And in fact, I saw a big move to taking TESOL, teaching English as a second language. Anyway, TESOL or TEFL and all of those, because they were then retiring to South America and Asia to teach English and living off of whatever pension they had plus the teaching. And so there's all kinds of target audiences that would love brand courses. But there is that other one, the dark side too, of blocking people from doing certain things if they don't meet that criteria. It wasn't that long ago that teachers didn't need to have a teaching degree. But there would have been brilliant and inspirational teachers without teaching degrees. And yes, I have a cert for an adult education, but that's beside the point. What else are we looking at here? We've got like 10 minutes left. Oh yes, I wanted to talk about Moocs. I gave a presentation to thanks Gary, to the Australian Vice-Chancellors Committee on Moocs, on nano courses and things like that. And how this generation that's coming through now, just turn all those off. Massively open online courses. So let's have a look here. Who's this run by? Oh, this is the BBC's, is it? Okay. Now, this is interesting. So, Allianz, Wavestone, Orange telcos are using EdFlex, which I think is the framework to build online courses. For me, it's important to look at not necessarily courses for staff. I'm not saying training for staff isn't important, but building this bridge between a brand and their audience through providing a value-based course. I'll dig into that one, which reminds me, what have I got here? You know what I noticed on the iPhone is that I can only have the phone go dark, the maximum is 5 minutes, or never. So I put it on never, and then I do a 1 hour presentation, and then I walk away and I wonder why my battery is flat like a few hours later. But I want to bring it up because I think it's important that we have a look at them. I'm surprised I didn't already have it bookmarked. Let's close some of these. I'm going to go back to them later, but we'll see. That's Digital Garage. There's that one, that one, that one. Okay, no, it's not there. So let's go to edX. We have here on edX, these are their charter members. So 34 million people studying worldwide. I'm telling you now, if you want to know zeitgeist, this is it. Building and building and building. And I mean, I've been running online courses now since 2009, 10. And I've been saying it every year. So who knows when we're going to see a tipping point, but we're starting to. So 2,800 courses, mostly at university level. There's all their universities. But if we come down the bottom, here's the members. So we'll see. I wanted to see some non-universities. Amnesty International have courses. What kind of courses do you think they offer? So that's a non-profit. Free online course. Human rights, the rights of refugees in multiple languages, the right to protest, digital security, human rights, make your school human rights friendly. So really understanding that part of marketing is brand education. This is not normally what marketers mean by brand education. They mean, oh, we just want them to know our product does X, Y, Z, so they buy it. But I think there's more to it. I think there's about, this drives me bonkers, rant time, just a few minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. I see branding courses and it's about colours and logo. And branding is so not colours and logo. Colours and logo are brand colours and brand logo. Branding is about your purpose and your values. It's about who's your target audience. It's about what's your messaging to them. It's about what do they value. It's about what value do you provide. What do they want from you? What do you want from them? That sort of medium of exchange. There's a range of things that go on branding besides, oh, I think I'll have a red and yellow logo. So education and educating to help build understanding in the nonprofit space is an awesome way to show your value. So really extending this out, if we saw Google, who push their values very strongly, sometimes to their detriment. And I only mean that because I'm not sure, once again, that we need a company interfering in our morals. Do you really want to take your values from a corporate America and be penalized for them? But, they do try to do as much as possible around their values. They don't back away from them. And so if Google started offering online courses around gender fluidity, then that to me would fit in with their brand, because they're very much about inclusivity. What else do we have? So Google runs edX courses. I think the techie, geeky ones, IBM, Microsoft. See what I mean? It's the engineering. Oh, W3C. I was talking about them today. Somebody doesn't have a W3 certified site. Interesting. So that's edX, which is now owned by Google, I think. And they're offering courses, not only university courses to corporates, but presumably a lot of this is for staff. Amazon. Where are we at? Be trained by the BBC for free. Oh, I remember this. This is when they were building out their citizen journalists cohort, asking local bloggers to provide stories. Interesting. I closed some pages. I'm going to have to go into my history and pull them back up again, because I'm going to put all of these links into the blog post. And again, I want to repeat, this isn't how I would do a lecture. A lecture has to get you from here to there, and it's structured, and then you get exercises based on that structure, and that's how it works. That's how traditional education works. This is going to be more of a resource so that people who are thinking of exploring brand engagement through online courses can see the different examples and see how shallow or how deep the verticals have gone. I really don't think there was anything more on my list that I wanted to take you through. I did want to mention things like there's so many online courses about makeup and cosmetics, before we go on to the other thing again, and so many videos on YouTube and Instagram about how to apply cosmetics and everything. And yet I've not seen Sephora or Mecca or any of the big brands that pull in lots of small brands. What am I trying to say? Like a hall of brands where they have lots and lots of brands, like Chanel and Yves Saint Laurent and things like that. Charlotte Tilbury. I've not seen them put together online courses, and they could have, influencers coming in and teaching some makeup courses and building out brand loyalty that way, and then using the courses to introduce the new products rather than just slapping up a photo of a lipstick and going, here's a new lipstick. I've got a new lipstick, by the way. It's pretty. I like it. All right, so this is a list of sites, brands that have courses, online courses, in-store courses, broad let's solve your problems for you courses, through to let's get you using our product properly courses. There are some that are trying to make the world a better place, some that are trying to improve their bottom line. The ones that are trying to make the world a better place seem to understand the long game. That is, if they can make people successful, then they will improve their bottom line anyway. And if you are a teacher, a qualified teacher, you've got a head start. There's a lot of online courses that are coming out that are not structured in the way, you know, we know about learning outcomes and learning pathways and curriculums and all that kind of stuff. But with disintermediation of education, do not assume that people will not come up fast. Because one thing I saw during the pandemic was that when all the late show hosts had to stream from home, they were very uncomfortable, not very good at it. And the shoe had flipped from the top YouTubers who were super comfortable producing a show on their personal premises. So I would expect that the disintermediation of education to continue at a rate of knots. Is it the place for brands to take over education? Well, I mean, in some senses, Google already have, because they've collected the data from the get-go, from primary school students and things like that. And they are the underlying platform for so many schools. And as they build out their offerings in education, whether it's edX or something else. By the way, did we find out if Google had bought or was funding or something edX? Google. No, I can't remember. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put it in the resources blog post. So I'll link in the description back to the article on the website that lists all the resources and all the websites, and we'll be able to see there. I'm just flicking through Google search and I can't see it at the moment, but I'm usually pretty good at remembering those kind of things. But only because I'm following threads, so I can see the threads where who's connected to whom. So I'm pretty sure that Google is heavily invested in edX. That's an issue. You may not get a job in the future because something that we know about Google's collecting data from primary school onwards is that certain students do not get shown certain courses. So if you've never done well at school, but you seem to like painting, you'll be shown painting courses and you'll never be shown physics courses, even though you may have been too young, too silly, too in love with the boy on the footy team to pay attention to the physics course, and you're actually quite good at physics. edX by Google have an app. Oh, good. Okay, so they must be involved. All right, waffling now, 2:01. We're over time a little bit. I'm just trying to think of anything else I wanted to say. Oh, I wanted to see if this worked. I don't think it does. Let me just check. It does, but I forgot to put the mic on that one. So I'm not going to make the same mistake I made on Monday. Mondays I do social media news. We catch up on what third-party platforms are doing. We catch up on the Facebook and Apple war or whatever else is going on, the Google versus WordPress war. There's lots going on at the moment. There's a big play in this space. I don't think the general public are aware of it, but it's interesting. That's at 10:45 a.m. Monday, Sydney time. Live streamed like this one on LinkedIn, Facebook, 3 Facebook areas now, Twitter, YouTube. That's it. Yes, that's all of them. If you have any questions and you'd like me to answer them, please let me know, because I often address them there. I'm also testing my tech on Mondays. Thursdays is lectures, so 1 p.m. the lecture series. A little bit like this, but more structured. And other than that, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I've got a Zoom session in less than an hour, a Zoom education session. So I am going to have to love you and leave you. I hope you found this interesting. Sorry I forgot to vision switch. I'm going to go back and check and see how long a gap it was between me chatting on with my talking head and me showing you what I wanted to show you. But I don't think at the end of the day it makes that much difference, especially if you'll have the links available to you anyway. All right. Thanks very much again. Thanks to Gary for his support and putting up the links for me. And I will see you on Monday. Thank you.